Hey guys, it's me Chandler. Welcome or welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys about my top 10 favorite books from 2022. Without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. Coming in at number 10 is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. This was actually her debut novel, and this takes place in summer at like a little beach house. This follows Persephone, and she spends every summer with like her childhood best friend Sam, and this follows a then and now timeline. So the then timeline is them growing up in the summer in their little summer beach house, and then the now timeline is they haven't spoken years, and Sam's brother Charlie actually calls Percy to tell her that their mother has died and to invite her to come back into the little beach town for the mother's funeral. And of course, when she goes back in town, she runs into Sam again, and they haven't spoken in like years because there's something that happened. And I overall just really love this book. It definitely gave me Love in Other Words vibes along with The Summer I Turned Pretty vibes, but I do think it's actually better than both of those books. And she actually is having a new book come out next year, and I'm so excited for it. Cannot wait. I will be buying that as soon as it comes out. Or actually, it's not next year, it's this year. Crazy how time flies. That is about all I have to say for this book. I definitely recommend you read it in summer. It definitely gives all the summery vibes. Coming in at number 9, we have The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I loved this book. Obviously, it's on this list. This is a dark academia book, and it follows, I think it's 6 friends, possibly. I'm not sure, but it follows a bunch of friends as they slowly spiral into madness. The main character is like new at this college, but there's this like group of students that are in one of his classes. They're kind of like a clique in the school, I guess, but they're all really weird, and they're kind of like outcasts, I guess. And the main guy slowly gets like pulled into this group and then slowly slips away from morality. This book is just so incredible. I remember there were so many twists and turns, and this would be a great book for like fall, even though we're not in fall anymore, but even just for any time you're looking for like a dark academia book, the vibes are immaculate, so definitely recommend. Coming in at number 8, we have Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau, and this book, again, incredible. It follows Mary Jane, who is a 14-year-old, and she lives in a very like uptight household with many rules. They're very strict. She's kind of been sheltered growing up, and she takes a summer babysitting job with a family who is literally the complete opposite of hers. It's kind of just like a little coming of age story, how much she learns from this family, and the little girl in it is so amazing. It just follows Mary Jane's summer as she is watching this family. It's definitely just like a general fiction book, and I really enjoyed it. It's more of a like book that is very character driven. Like, if you don't like the characters, you're not gonna like this book, but I don't see how you wouldn't like the characters. They're so likable, at least to me. But it doesn't have, I mean, it has a plot, but it's not necessarily like a huge plot that is being followed and like driving the book with like twists and turns, but I really recommend it. Coming in at number 7, we have If We Were Villains by Emma Rio, and this is very similar to The Secret History by Donna Tartt. It has the secret society type of vibes, the dark academia vibes. This book follows friends that are in the theatrical department, and they're very into like Shakespeare and stuff like that, which I really love because I'm super into theater. I definitely think that's why I enjoyed this book a bit more than The Secret History. This book kind of follows the same type of thing where they slowly spiral into madness, except this one actually follows a then and now timeline. So at the beginning of the book, you're seeing this guy who just got out of prison, and he's telling the story of how he ended up there, and he was one of the people that was in the little Shakespearean society, secret society thing. I really recommend this book. I recommend it more than The Secret History, but The Secret History is literally great as well. Either of them are amazing. The 7th book on this list is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings, and this book gets a lot of hate. It is a romance, kind of, not really. It's more, I don't know how I would describe it. It basically follows this like huge friend group in London, and they're all like really rich, and you basically just watch their drama unfold. The relationship that's going on in this book is super toxic, definitely not something to like recreate or anything, but it's just so fun to read about, and to read about their insane friend group. I have heard from people that have seen Gossip Girl that it gives Gossip Girl vibes, and that the main couple gives Chuck and Blair vibes, which I've never seen Gossip Girl, but maybe I should if I like this. But this is just like a drama-filled, fun, juicy book to read. Definitely just for entertainment, but I really enjoyed this book. It is kind of chunky. This is actually part of a series. This is the first book in an ongoing series. The fourth book just came out, I believe, and it's still being continued. I really want to get the second book so I can continue it. Now we are in the top 5 books of 2022, so you know all these are going to be really good. I'm looking at them. They're all really good. The 5th book is Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. This is actually the only Colleen Hoover book that made it onto this list. She definitely, I don't think she's, she might be a little overhyped, but I do enjoy some of her books, and this was one of them. This book was so incredible. This book follows Kenna, and she is just getting out of serving time in prison, but you like don't know why she served time in prison. She's trying to reconnect with her daughter who was taken away from her when she went to prison, and everyone is like wanting her to stay away from her daughter, like no matter what, because of what she did. But as the reader, we don't know what she did until further into the book. But then she meets this guy Ledger who kind of changes everything in the situation, but it's kind of like forbidden because of who he is to her. I can't really say it because it's kind of a spoiler, but just read it and I really recommend it. The 4th book is Normal People by Sally Rooney. This book is incredible. It's a coming of age fiction novel, and it basically has nothing go on. I mean, there's things that go on, but kind of like Mary Jane, it's very character driven. It follows Connell and Marianne as they go through like 12 years of their life from high school to after college, and it follows their relationship and how they always come back together, but they're always like pulled back apart. And some of the quotes in this book are just absolutely incredible, but I highly recommend this book. It's definitely not for everyone, but I would definitely recommend trying it out at least. And it's really short. It's under 300 pages, so it's a pretty quick read. My 3rd favorite book of the year was Daisy Jones and the Six by my queen, Taylor Jenkins Reid. It follows Daisy, who is like an upcoming like rock star type of person, and it follows her and how her band Daisy Jones and the Six forms. And again, it's kind of just like a general fiction novel. I mean, it has like romance in it, it has stuff like that, but it really is just following her life and like all the struggles she goes through, and it shows what life is really like being famous. And if you do read this book, I recommend listening to the audiobook of it because there is a full cast for it. Daisy and each of the 6 band members all have a different voice actor, which is just so cool. And also, this book is getting a TV show on Hulu. Actually, I don't know what it's on. Oh, I think it's Amazon Prime, but it's getting its own TV show and I'm so excited to watch it. The vibes in this book are just incredible. My 3rd favorite book of the year was The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and this was a reread, but I'm still counting it because the first time I read it, I don't think I fully like digested it. I did give it like 4.5 stars the first time I read it, I think, but I remember just like kind of skimming it. I don't know why I did that, but I remember doing that, and now this is literally one of my favorite books of all time. Again, it's literally my 2nd favorite from the whole year, and I read 69 books. Well, yeah, I probably should have said that. I read 69 books this year, and these are my top 10, so you know they're pretty good. It, again, follows someone famous. I'm kind of realizing that Taylor Jenkins Reid writes famous people a lot. But yeah, it's also by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. It follows Monique, who is interviewing Evelyn Hugo because Evelyn Hugo is like old now and she's ready to share her life story. And Evelyn was like kind of like the Marilyn Monroe of the... She was prevalent from the 50s to the 80s, so that whole time period, and she had 7 husbands, and she tells the story of what happened with each of those 7 husbands, how that all came to be, basically her whole life story. There's like forbidden romance that she talks about, and it's just so good. And some of the quotes in this book, too good. And this book literally made me cry at the end. I definitely will reread this book again this year. I feel like this should be a book that I reread every year. I feel like that'd be so fun to reread it every year. Highly recommend it. Okay, we are now on to my favorite book of the year. It's actually a series, but I'm counting it as one book. And that is the ACOTAR series by Sarah J. Maas. So it goes A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Wings and Ruin, A Court of Frost and Starlight, and then A Court of Silver Flames. I have yet to read A Court of Silver Flames, so I've only read these 4, and this one's a novella, so technically 3, I don't know, 3.5. But I'm just going to talk about each of them real quick. I rated the first book, A Court of Thorns and Roses, 5 stars. This got me out of a huge reading slump. I read it in a 24-hour readathon. A lot of people hate on the first book in the series, but I literally loved it so much. It's just so much fun. So that's the first book. And then the second book is A Court of Mist and Fury, which I also gave 5 stars. This is actually most people's favorite book in the series, but this was not mine. It was still incredible though, like so good. Then there is A Court of Wings and Ruin, and this was actually my favorite book in the series. I gave it 5 stars. It was literally so incredible. It's really long. It's like 700 pages or something, but it is just incredible. I could like knock someone out with this, but it is so good. Oh my gosh. These characters I am so attached to, and I'm not ready to like end this series. Like, the series can never end. What if I never read the last book so it never ends? Oh my gosh, but there's actually gonna be more books, I think. So it actually isn't ending technically. I'm so excited about that. If there were not gonna be more books, I might throw a fit right now. And then the novella is A Court of Frost and Starlight, and a lot of people don't like this novella, but I really liked it. I think it's just because I love the characters and I will literally devour anything with these characters in them. I gave this 4.5 stars, so this was really good. I recommend this whole series, like please read it. I'm really excited to read the last book, even though I haven't read it yet, because this is Nesta's story, and I literally love Nesta so much. I know a lot of people who hate her, but I love her character. Oh my gosh, my books are on the camera. I love her character. I think she has had so much character development go on, and I'm so excited to see what's in store for her. Those were my top 10 favorite books of 2022. Comment down below what your top 10 favorite books or even your top book of 2022 was. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!